Hello everyone, my name is Andrew and thank you so much for checking out today's video. It's that time of the month. It's time for another 24-hour readathon. I want to get this month started on a strong pace, I think. Today, my main focus is obviously going to be my TBR. I think that's my priority. But let me just go over the books I want to read in this video. The first one is Past, Present, Future by Rachel Lynn Solomon. The second one is Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. Powerless by Elsie Silver. The Roommate by Rosie Dannon. I'm really excited for this one. I think I might start with this one. And then finally, The Deal by Elle Kennedy. But yeah, so I'm going to do the timer method like I said. I really enjoy the timer method. It's interesting for me to see how much time I do actually kill reading in a day if I read a lot, which I do read a lot. I think more than the average person. There's obviously some days where I don't read at all. But obviously I can do better. I know I can do better. So that's why I'm going to start this video, but I don't know which one I want to start with. There's two I am indecisive from. The first one is The Roommate by Rosie Dannon, and then Frederick Bachman's Anxious People. The last book I read was a YA thriller. It was Killer Instinct. I don't know why I'm acting like it's a freaking guessing game. So I don't know if I want to do a full-fledged adult romance or a lit fic moment right now. I'm kind of leaning towards the romance, only because romance for me is kind of like a palate cleanser. It's something I find comforting. I already know how it's going to play out, happily ever after regardless, that type of vibe. I've been seeing a lot of videos lately on Book Talk and BookTube talking about Frederick Bachman, like they're reading Beartown. I seen a video where Sarah Caroli was reading this. It was an older video. Granted, I love watching older videos and see how people reacted to certain books. So I'm kind of like leaning towards this one because I've been wanting to read Frederick Bachman for a while now, I would say. If you don't know what this book is about, from what I know, it involves a bank robbery of some sort. But it's not like the typical hostage situation where everyone is like afraid and like it's not a thriller or anything. It's a very I think emotional type of story. I'm guessing I'm gonna be crying, maybe. That is a definite possibility. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start with this one and then I'll go from there. But I'm really excited, you guys. I'm excited to dive into this book and see what it's all about. I'm gonna get started with this. I'll update you guys maybe later, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Let's get this video started. I'm excited to do this. Got my book. Can't wait to be anxious. Because I already am. Let's do this. Hi, I know. Sorry. I only have 20 hours and 53 minutes left. So that means I read about 3 hours. 3 hours and 7 minutes to be exactly. I'm on page 158 of this book. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm loving it. I'm loving it like it's McDonald's, okay? I wasn't expecting it to be this deep. I did not check the trigger warnings for this book. Granted, nothing necessarily does trigger me, but if you are planning on reading this, I do suggest checking those out just to see. I'm having a really good time with this book. It's really entertaining, really thought-provoking. So I know I said this book is about a bank robbery, but it's much more than that. It's more character driven than the situation leads to it. I know a bank robbery makes it whoa, what's gonna happen? It's really thought provoking. I'm thinking a lot more. I feel that's why it's taking me a little longer to really get into, I should say, to really dive into this story. But I'm having a really good time with this book, guys. I would say as of now my rating for the book would probably be either a 4 or a 4.5. It's really good, but my ratings do fluctuate depending on how the ending is. So the ending can either make or break this book. But regardless, I'm having a very enjoyable time. I like the writing style a lot. I like how the author breaks away from third person and tries to include the reader into the story. He says you a lot. It's just different. It's different from any type of book that I've read recently, so I think that's why I'm like really enjoying it. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my romance books. It's like one of my favorite things ever. But if I read it back to back and it's the same genre, I tend to get like a bit bored of it. I'm glad I'm reading this one right now because even though the last book I read was a YA thriller, I'm still like glad I read this instead of a romance because the book I read before that was a romance. Regardless, I'm having a fun time with this book. I really like the characters. This book is just something else. I think this book is great. I think this book is fantastic. So I'm going to keep on reading it right now. I probably won't update you guys until either tomorrow morning or later tonight, depending on if I finish this book or not. I only have like about 170-ish pages left, so I should be able to knock it out tonight. It's the next day. I finished the book last night. We have 18 hours and 16 minutes, I believe. So I read for 5 hours and 44 minutes. It took me almost
6 hours
to read this book, and it's only 330 something pages, 335. It was worth it. This book is very good. I felt a lot of emotions by reading this book. I felt happy, I felt sad. It's a good book. It's a really good book. This book is essentially a critique on classism, how the rich get richer and the people who are middle class or unwealthy, how they struggle. I had a great time with this one. I thought this book was a blast. It's just really good, guys. I had a great time with this one. I gotta give this one 4.5 stars. I was originally gonna give it 5. It was starting to feel like a 5-star moment for me. Sometimes while I was reading it, I felt my thoughts drifting away from the story itself, like into thinking about something else. That could just be me. I highly recommend this one who wants a literary fiction and just like wants to feel things, I guess. I don't know what to read next. I'm indecisive between 2 options. The first one is Powerless by Elsie Silver. I think I want to go with this one because I just want to go back into the Chestnut Springs world and just, see what's going on with these characters. I know this follows Jasper, who's more of the quiet one of the bunch, and Sloane, who I believe was used to be his best friend. But also I kind of want to read The Roommate by Rosie Danan. I've heard a lot of great things about this one. I'm not sure which one I want to pick, so I think I'm gonna flip a coin. The Roommate will be heads. Powerless will be tails. Yes, tails. I don't know why it took me so long to think about that. Flip a coin.
It's heads.
Okay, it's heads. So I'm gonna be reading The Roommate now by Rosie Danan, and I will update you guys as soon as I have anything to update on. I will try to record more clips today because I have the day off, so I don't have anything to do today besides read, and I love that. But I probably will buy some food first because I am starting to get hungry. So that's it. I will update you guys in a bit. Okay, so it's about an hour and a half later. Actually, not an hour and a half later. It's been like a couple hours, but I've only read for an hour and a half. I'm on page 102, chapter 13. I'm really liking it. I think it's really cute so far. It's kind of funny. I did not really know the plot of this book going in, if I'm being honest. I was kind of shocked to learn the things that I do learn about one of these characters, specifically the male character. I don't want to say anything because it's kind of like a spoiler. Yeah, but besides that shocking revelation, I have just been enjoying myself. I've been giggling, laughing, kicking my feet. These characters are really interesting and fun. But this book follows Clara Reaton. She had recently moved from New York to LA because the boy that she's had a crush on for a very long time invited her over to live in his apartment. But that boy leaves because his band is going on tour. It's not a spoiler, this legit happens like the first 10 pages of the book. To her discovery, he rented out his room of their apartment to Josh, who is the main character of this book. I am having a good time with this book. I do think this book is very well written. It's fast paced. I've only read for about an hour and a half and I'm already 100 pages in, so I think that's pretty good. I'm reading this a lot faster than I was reading Anxious People, but Anxious People is a different type of beast of a book, so I'm having a very good time with this book. I do think the book is entertaining and fun. It's just really cute, so I'm just gonna be reading some more. I'll update you guys in probably another hour or two, maybe in another 100 pages. We shall see. little, I mean it's 12 a.m. now. I basically have like 14 hours left for the challenge. I finished the book. I really liked it. I thought it was really cute, really fun, really entertaining book. I'm glad I read it. And yeah, this book is such a fun time and really cute and really just like really good. I love the message that it's sending. Like, I just love pretty much almost everything about this book. It's not a 5-star book for me. I really enjoyed it though, so I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I think that's more than fair of a rating for this book. I did not know it was gonna have so much spice, but granted, if you know what the plot is about, you know why it has so much spice. Granted, I don't mind spice because I don't mind spice when the emotional connection is there, and this book had that. So that's why I was okay with it. If you want a spicy rom-com that has more of a deeper meaning, I would really encourage you guys to read this one. You know, but just be warned, it's pretty spicy. Now, I'm gonna read Powerless by Elsie Silver. I don't know if how much I'm gonna get into it tonight, because like I said, I do have work in the morning and it's almost 1 a.m. So I need to be up in like 8 hours ish. 8 hours ish. So I'm probably just gonna read for like 30 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on how I'm feeling about the book. But this book, I should be able to get there pretty quickly. I usually do whenever it's Elsie Silver. I love her writing and I can't wait to go back into this world. So I'm really excited to just dive into this one. Yeah, so that's my update for you guys tonight. Like I said, 4 stars for the roommate. Really excited to dive into this one. Friends to lovers is not my favorite trope. I think my favorite is still enemies to lovers or even a workplace romance. Can't go wrong with Elsie Silver. Elsie Silver is like quickly becoming one of my favorite romance authors ever. I'm gonna be reading this now. I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow. It's, I believe, 2 or 3 days later. I'm assuming it's 2. But I don't remember, honestly. I don't remember when I recorded my last clip. But all I know is that I finished Powerless last night. So I finished this book last night, legit at 2 a.m. I really liked it. It's not my favorite out of the series so far. I still think Heartless is my favorite. I do think it was enjoyable. The characters weren't necessarily my favorite. In this book, they kept on suppressing their emotions like toward each other. And it got kind of like boring to me in a way. I still thought it was entertaining and fun. Sloane is, I think, a very good character. I like Sloane. Jasper, though, he's fine. The spice in his book, though, not gonna lie, I think the spice is spicing in this book. I gave this one 4 stars. I still thought it was a very entertaining book. I really liked all the characters, and seeing them all together again was really nice and fun. So right now, my timer's at 10.5 hours. I have 2 more books I'm thinking about reading. The first one is The Deal by Elle Kennedy. I haven't read a lot of college romances in general, so I'm interested to see how this one's gonna play out. This is like one of the most popular like book talk books. I'm excited to see how this one turns out. So I think I might pick up this one first, or I might pick up Past, Present, Future by Rachel Lynn Solomon. I'm leaning, I think, more towards this one only because I want to read a YA book now instead of the adult contemporary romances. This might be the next one I read. I'm thinking this one though. I'm thinking Past, Present, Future because it's been a while since I read the first book, and I'm kind of excited just to see where the characters are at now. So yeah, I think I'm gonna pick up Past, Present, Future today. Regardless, I'm gonna be reading Past, Present, Future by Rachel Lynn Solomon now. I don't know why I'm doing an English accent. Hi, so I'm back. I finished Past, Present, Future last night. This is like a couple days since the last clip too. I'm so sorry. This video has been very disorganized and hectic. That wasn't my intention. I just got really busy with work, and I'm still very busy with work, but I'm still trying to make time for this. I swear. I finished this book. I loved this book. My God, did I love it. I like this better than the first one. Personally, the way this book is handled is so well done. Rachel Lynn Solomon, the woman that you are, because you have created 2 great books the only 2 books that I've read by her, by the way, and I love them so much. I really enjoy Neil and Rowan, their characters and their arcs in this. It's just, there is some mental health topics that are discussed in this book, and I think the book handles it very well. I can't really say much about it without like spoiling anything. They each go through their own issues separately, and then the way they handle it to reconcile everything and whatever. It's just well done, and I love it. I love this book. I'm gonna have to give this one 5 stars. I just love everything about this book. I love the friendships that they have with the people in different cities, because Neil's going to college in NYU. Rowan's going to Emerson College, which is like in Boston, I believe. So they're 2 different cities, so it's a long distance relationship, and that's like the main conflict at the beginning. I have about 6 hours left in the timer, but I think I'm able to finish one more book if I really focus. And so I'm gonna finish this video off with The Deal by L. Kennedy. I have been wanting to read this book for the longest time. This is a college hockey romance, and that's pretty much all I know. Yeah, I'm gonna start this book today. I'm not gonna update you guys today because I have work in an hour. I'm so sorry, my hair is a freaking mess today too. Oh my god, I'm so disorganized. I'm gonna keep it so real with you. I started this last night. I have about 5 hours left. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't want to read this book right now. I am not liking it. I'm only 50 pages in, so my opinion could change. I'm not vibing with it. I'm not clicking with it right now. This hasn't happened to me in a very long time with the book. I'm gonna keep on going. See, maybe my opinion will change. But right now for this book, it's not positive. I don't really like Garrett right now, who is the male main character. He seems kind of a tool. Yeah, I'm not liking it right now. But I'm gonna keep on reading, see what happens, and blah blah blah. Alright, so it's about 30 minutes later, and I'm on page 108 now. Okay. My opinion has changed. I'm liking the book now. I don't know what it was about the first 50 pages, but it was really rough for me to get into. I'm kind of digging it. I'm not loving it though. I will say that. I'm thinking like it's giving like a 3-star type of vibe. So this book follows Garrett and Hannah. Garrett is this hockey player. Hannah is this singer, music major, I believe. And they both have this philosophy class. Hannah ends up passing the very hard midterm with an A. Garrett fails. So he's like basically convinces her to tutor her, but the only way she agrees to it is by him like basically helping her get the boy she's crushing on by fake dating him in a way. We'll see how it goes, but I'm liking it so far. I think it's enjoyable. I think this book is entertaining, but the writing isn't great by any means, but I think his writing is fine for what it is. We'll see what happens. I'm so gonna be reading. I'm gonna put in my AirPods right now and lock in and like try to read like for another hour or 2 maybe, and just see how far I can get. But considering I read 50 pages in 30 minutes, I'm kind of proud of myself for that. I think I'm starting to read a little faster now. I'm gonna keep reading now. Hi, it's the next day. I am almost done with The Deal. I'm liking it, but I will say the writing is very cringy in this book. I'm like, not gonna lie, but it's still cute, and I only have 2 hours and 14 minutes left for this challenge. This will be the last book I read for sure. I'm thinking it's like a 3-star range, to be honest. I don't see it being more than a 3.5 the most, to be honest, but I still think it's good. I still think it's entertaining and fun. I will say that I'm not sure if I'm gonna continue with this series specifically. I don't know, I might change my mind. I might pick up the next one, but it's not doing its thing for me personally. Like I said, I understand why people like this book. I do, but I just don't think it's necessarily for me. Like, it's still good, it's still entertaining, so I'm just gonna keep on reading. Hopefully I get to finish this within the next hour. I'm gonna lock in with my AirPods. I've been listening to music, like background music, mainly like Taylor Swift's more acoustic style albums, so mainly Folklore and Evermore and Tortured Poets Department. And I feel like having it like lows like in the background helps me focus like a little more. I feel like I can actually stay awake while reading. Sometimes when I'm reading, especially after a long day of work, I get so tired and my eyes just like drooping, like I have to take a nap before I even read now. Right now I'm locked in, I have energy, I'm ready to keep going, so I'm just gonna finish this book hopefully soon. I finished the book and I have some thoughts. It was fine. I don't think it's like the best book in the world, like at all. It is really entertaining. I liked the characters. I think the writing isn't great. I don't know how I feel about this, to be honest. I think it's entertaining. So I am going to give it 3 stars, but I don't know if I'm going to continue the series like at all. Yeah, I don't know about this one, guys. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. So I don't know if I would want to put myself through 4 more books of this series, to be honest. I think 1 is fine, to be honest. Like, I don't think I need to continue with this series like at all. So I think that means the challenge is over. I'm just going to go over the books that I've read. Here is the stack. Starting from the bottom is the first book I read to the most recent. We have Anxious People, The Roommate, Powerless, Past, Present, Future, and The Deal. Anxious People, what a great book. I really like this book. I think it is really entertaining, interesting. I loved the writing in this book. I think Frederick Buckman is a great writer, and I can't wait to read more of his books. 4 stars. The Roommate by Rosie Danan. I love this book as well. I think this book was excellent and just really entertaining. It is spicy because I didn't know how spicy it was because I didn't know the full premise of the book, but I still enjoyed it. I thought it was really nice and fun and really cute. Yeah, it's just a really good book. I really like this. 4 stars as well. Powerless by Elsie Silver. I love Elsie Silver. I love Chestnut Springs. I gave this one 4 stars. I know people love this book. I don't think I'm that guy. I still liked it. I still thought it was really entertaining. I love when they visited Gold Rush Ranch, which is the first series. So I love how it connects both of those series together in that way. I like this one. It's just not my favorite out of the series. That's why I still give it 4 stars, because I still like the characters and just Chestnut Springs as a world. But the relationship wasn't my favorite. Past, Present, Future by Rachel Lynn Solomon. This might be my favorite book that I've read in this video. I gave this one 5 stars. This book is phenomenal. I love Rachel Lynn Solomon's writing. Her characters were so interesting and really just like, oh, I loved her writing in this book. I feel like she elevated it to a whole nother level compared to Today, Tonight, Tomorrow. I will say this book is more spicy than I thought it would be, considering it's considered young adult. This is more new adult than anything. I understand from the writing perspective why she did it, but if it's marketed as young adult, I don't think it should have any spice at all. That's just me. But this book, regardless of that, is great. I thought it was really fun and just interesting. Yeah, I think Neil and Rowan have such a cute relationship. It's great, guys. It's really good. And then we have The Deal, which was my least favorite out of all the books I read. That's it for me, guys. That's it for this video that took over a week to film. I don't know why it took me that long. I'm so sorry. This month has been really busy with work and just life in general. But regardless, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you're new to the channel. Love to have you guys here. And leave me a comment down below if you read any of these books. What were your thoughts and opinions? I know people love The Deal, so I hope I'm not making anyone mad, but I guess that's it. Wow. Okay. Bye.